Tony D and Little Joan, and this is a Screenwriter's Rant on My Spy 2, The Eternal City, starring Dave Batista and a bunch of other funny people in a wacky comedy about a CIA spy who kills people and makes scones. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 14, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. First up, before I get into this movie, check me out tomorrow at the Gloucester Township Farmers Mart in Veterans Park in Clementon, New Jersey, from 4 to 9. I just booked it. So fell right into my lap. So I'm doing an event tomorrow. So come out and see me. And then Friday, I'll be at Crossroad Comics and Collectibles in Pitman, New Jersey from 2 to 6. But don't forget tomorrow, only because that one just dropped into my lap and now I got to advertise it. And now it's tomorrow. So anyhow, this is a sequel to a movie that I would never have greenlit a sequel for. I don't know. It's a kid's movie about spies, which I watched my previous review of the first trailer of the first movie, and that's funny. I came to the conclusion that this is a very, very stupid premise. A very stupid premise. July 18th, it's PG-13. Let's see. Based on the characters created by John Hober and Eric Hober. Story by Pete Siegel and Eric Hober and John Hober. Screenplay by the Hober brothers and Siegel. Directed by Pete Siegel. And look, it's not going to be unfunny. I laughed at some of the trailer. Anna Faris is in it. I didn't even recognize it. Man, she looks way different in that. Way different. She had some work done. Yeah, so it's basically kind of the same movie as the first one, except this time they're going to Italy because I don't know, because the plot pushed it there. The problem with this movie and this entire concept is you have Dave Batista. I mean, like, Hollywood has this thing where they take big muscle action stars, team them up with little kids, and let the hilarity ensue. Now, to some extent, I kind of get that. It's a kid's movie, really, that you take the family to, but it has elements that aren't very family friendly. First element is the CIA. The CIFNA is not a family friendly organization in any way, shape, or form. You should not be touting the CIA as this nice fuzzy thing that only nice people work at and they do good work, and it as far as I'm concerned, the whole movie series is propaganda. But what do you expect with the CIA? It's got its fingers in various aspects of media, so this is their soft and fuzzy side, I guess. And kudos to them for hiring funny people on a comedy movie, but it kind of undermines the comedy for me. Now, you might say, well, not everybody's going down the Alex Jones rabbit holes that you go down. I'd be like, yeah, that's true. Except, like, even within the movie, they casually mention people being killed or hitmen like it's no big deal. And that undermines the danger in the reality of the entire movie. The entire movie reality is completely undermined by its own comedy and concepts. Yes, you can have an action comedy and you can make one-liners while stuff is happening. I mean, like Kindergarten Cop, that's what it basically is. It's basically Kindergarten Cop. But that's a funny movie. The reason why that's a funny movie is the stakes in Kindergarten Cop aren't that high. They're not as high as this. This is like national security level stuff. So, to any adults, your eyes are just probably going to glaze over, even though Kristen Shaw knocking it out of the park in every scene in this thing, at least in the trailer. She's funny. There's no getting around it. Craig Robertson's in it. He's got a great funny line too. He's got great delivery. Ken Jeong, I think his shtick is getting a little old for me, but he's all right. He's fine. Dave Batista, other than Guardians of the Galaxy, it seems like every movie he's in, he is as wooden as a post. I think maybe in Knives Out, and I don't like Ryan Johnson at all, but the clips I've seen him in Knives Out looks like he's actually acting. In this, it's like he's sleepwalking through it. I think part of the problem with Batista, when he gets a leading man role, he tries to sort of pull back and be more subtle, and he doesn't really have that nuance, I think, in his acting ability to pull it off. Like, sure, he looks good, he's muscular, he looks like a leading man. He doesn't seem to have the acting chops to pull it off, though. He's got no presence unless he goes big. So he's not going big. Everyone around him is going big with their performances, and then he's supposed to be kind of the butt of the jokes. It sort of doesn't work for me. So first act, they're back. All the wacky characters are back. In the first movie, they were yelling at Batista. They was killing too many people, and they were going to fire him, like he worked at Walmart instead of the CIA. Anyhow, they didn't fire him because everything worked out at the end. But now in this movie, he took a desk job in the CIA so he can be a father to the little girl. And, now he bakes cookies and scones and wears an apron, and they emasculate him. But now everybody yells at him, what happened to you? You used to murder people. So he's also training his daughter to be a spy, but now she doesn't want to do it because I guess she discovered boys and wants to go out and party. And so now we've got, the daughter emasculating the dad kind of dynamic. He gives her a phone at one point and makes a joke about hiring hitmen. Like, the sensibilities of this thing is just... You can't make jokes in a world like that where the sensibilities are all off. In Kindergarten Cop, which is still kind of a ridiculous movie in premise, the sensibility of that movie worked. They didn't throw away the sensibility. He didn't come out of his house and shoot a dude in the street and then just go, well, you shouldn't have parked there, and then got back in his car and took off. Like, you could do that, and you could even make it funny. But it undermines the entire movie plot if you keep doing it. Unless you're doing like an Airplane style movie where crazy stuff just keeps happening. And you also have to keep making it crazier. This movie is written, I think, by people who either don't understand the gravity of some of the elements they're putting in their own story, or they just don't care and think, it's fine. People laugh at it. It's just a stupid movie. Yes and no. Yes and no. It gets tiresome. Do you ever watch a movie and it's not awful? It's paced well and there's good music and scenes you should like, but you're just kind of tired. The reason you're tired is because nothing's important in the movie. Nothing's important in the story. When a story is good, when a movie's good, you watch it because every moment of it is like, what's going to happen next? I got to see what happens to this guy. This movie will tire you because you just watch it and go, okay, next joke. All right, I'm tired of this joke. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Because every time they try to get serious, there will be no serious. You might as well not even do it. You might as well ignore the serious scenes and just keep doing one wacky scene after another until everybody explodes. So... Kristen Shaw is really good, though, in the trailer, I'll say. She's pretty good. She's got a lot of funny moments. She's doing bits. I don't think she can carry the movie because it's not her movie. She's doing a lot of heavy lifting. I mean, I think it'll be fairly watchable if you can tolerate it. If you can tolerate the scenes that make zero to no sense, like, I just blew up that guy. Ha 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 ha. Well, let's move on. There are body parts all over the street. Ha ha ha. Like, you can't do stuff like that in a movie, especially a kid's movie. Because it's like, you're making the kids numb to that stuff in a weird way, or they're horrified too. Either people will be horrified when you make jokes like that, or they're numb to it, in which case that's just horrifying in general. So would I see this? No. No, it would be tiresome. If it was about 15 minutes, I could see it. I'd love to see all the one-liners stacked together. Probably could see that. They'd probably be funny. But the premise is so ridiculous. I don't know. They're going to save the Pope or something. So he's retraining her in the first act. Second act, her choir group goes to Italy to sing at the Vatican, and then that dovetails with a mission, so they send them all on the mission, and then of course she gets involved, the kid. So it's a combination of single dad stuff mixed with spy stuff that doesn't even land because the CIA just doesn't do this stuff anymore. So it's based on movie tropes and spy tropes that are 50 years old, and that's another reason why it would be tiresome. It would be different if the Soviet Union was still around, or there was an actual enemy that the CIA could fight. Like if the enemy was China, you might have a chance at this. You might have a chance if the Chinese are up to no good. You wouldn't have a chance of distributing it in China. I bet nobody would stream it in China if you did that. But from a plot point, China would be an enemy, with their spy systems worthy of America, at least to some degree. It wouldn't be as big as the Soviet Union, but close enough you could make that work. But Hollywood, oh no, you're not going to see that. Not now. Maybe if we go to war with China, oh man, you'll see it all over the place. Every movie will be like, Now? No. Because they hold out hope against hope. They could get distribution in China and make $1 gazillion from the Chinese audience. Although this is going to go right to Prime, so maybe not. So would I see this? What are you, out of your mind? No. It looks like a dreadful 90 minutes of like, oh, that was kind of funny, and now we're doing this. It will make the stunts feel boring because they'll be, you know what's going to happen at the end. They're all going to survive. Batista will learn a valuable lesson, and his daughter will teach it to him, and then, I don't know, get a boyfriend, which he'll have to deal with. And then they'll go back to the CIA, and there'll be some new paradigm for the third movie, I guess. But it's a kids movie. You could say, well, you're being kind of harsh on a kids movie, but the sensibilities are all off. Sensibilities, and for a kids movie, it's more important that the sensibilities be on. If you're going to send a message to kids, and if the message is the CIA is a bunch of awesome dudes, well, mission accomplished. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Jeong. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take, I say, take it. Don't forget, tomorrow, Gloucester Township Farmers Mart in Veterans Park in Clementon, New Jersey, tomorrow night from 4 to 9. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.